Over the next 24 hours, Storm Chandra will be affecting the UK and Ireland, causing torrential rain and extreme winds over 80 miles per hour, which will likely cause some extreme damage to communities across this area. Right, so to start with, before we get into the main rain and wind risks, let's have a little look at some of the snow risks for the UK. So first things first, we have 3 rain and snow risks for the northern UK and Scotland. Very long one here, but yeah. So basically the main risk is just for a bit of rain, snow, sleet. But yeah, there could be, but there could be rainfall accumulations of 20 to 30 millimeters, in some areas 40 to 50, and if it does get cold enough, there could be quite a bit of snow. If we check the temperature from now to tomorrow, you can see that the temperature does go below 0, which is pretty good, in terms of potentially getting some snow. And on the snow risks, you can see a few little areas right where the warnings are of snow, the main risk being for the Highlands in Scotland. So yeah, we do definitely have, a chance of some snow, not a big chance, but, a little chance, so, keep an eye out for that. Right, so now the next risk we're going to go to is the rain risk. As you can see here, we have an amber warning for rain from 5 o'clock, which is pretty much now, all the way till 9 o'clock tomorrow. So homes and businesses are likely to be flooded, causing damage to some buildings. Fast flowing or deep floodwater is likely, causing danger to life. Delays and some cancellations to train and bus services are likely. Spray and flooding probably leading to difficult driving conditions and some road closures. A good chance some communities will be cut off by flooded roads. Power cuts and loss of other services to some homes and businesses likely. Landslides are possible in prone locations, which is pretty scary. Then if you go down here, it says by Tuesday morning we could have 30 to 50 millimeters of rain, which is pretty incredible. And in quite a few places, there's a good chance of getting 60 to 80 millimeters of rain, which is, pretty incredible. Now, the yellow warnings are going to cause very similar disruption, just not to the same extent, but they will be covering a much wider area than the amber warning. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the biggest risk that Storm Chandra is going to bring, which is the wind. So, as you can see, we do currently have an amber warning for wind, up in Northern Ireland, but we also have a yellow warning for wind down in the south of England and bits of Wales. Now this warning could potentially be worse than the amber warning, but different models are saying different things about how close the winds are going to be to the coast, or how much the storm's going to impact the coast. So currently, Met Office have just left it at an amber warning. But as you can see, this is still going to be quite high impact, as road, rail, air and ferry services may be affected, with longer journey times and cancellations possible. Some roads and bridges may close, power cuts may occur, with the potential to affect other services such as mobile phone coverage. Some damage to buildings, such as tiles blown from roofs, could happen. Injuries and danger to life from flying debris is possible. Injuries and danger to life could also occur from large waves and beach material being thrown onto the seafronts. So this is still pretty serious, but as you can see, the main winds are going to be 50 to 60 miles per hour, but more towards the coast there could be 60 to 70, and some gusts of up to 80 miles per hour, which is, very, very strong. This is going to be mostly over the Isles of Scilly, but you never know, we could still get some stronger winds on the mainland. Now, the main risks for the amber warning in Northern Ireland is that longer journey times and cancellations, likely, as road and rail and ferry services will be affected. Roads and bridges will likely close. There's a good chance that power cuts may occur, with the potential to affect other services such as mobile phone coverage. Probably some damage to buildings such as tiles blown from roofs. Flying debris is likely and could lead to some injuries or danger to life. Injuries and danger to life is likely from large waves and beach material being thrown onto coastal roads, seafronts and properties. The easterly winds will increase early on Tuesday morning, bringing gusts of 60-70 miles per hour to eastern and northern parts of Northern Ireland, with a few coastal locations seeing gusts of over 75 miles per hour. Now, there is also a yellow warning for rain and wind, which is showing some areas potentially getting 50 to 70 millimeters of rain and winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Now, if you go to the jet stream, you can see how it's sort of moving into the UK, and this is what's going to be creating, all the spin and the wind, for that storm. And you can see, as in, 9 hours, it's going to be over the whole of the UK, and obviously, battering the UK. 12 hours, it's completely covering it. Now, if we go to wind gusts, you can see there's not really much going on currently. Pretty much, well, actually pretty much nothing. But if we go on by a few hours, you can see something starting to form here. Right here, this is the storm getting spun up by the jet stream and very, very quickly intensifying. This is now 10 o'clock Monday the 26th. And as we go into Tuesday morning, it's now Tuesday 11 o'clock in the day, you can see just how intense it gets. Here you have winds of 100 miles per hour. This is obviously not hitting the UK or Ireland, but still very interesting to see. Now currently, if we go here, Isles of Scilly are seeing winds of 64 miles per hour. They obviously could be stronger gusts, up to 80. And yeah, areas off the south coast, 60 miles per hour winds. Now as you can see, different models are saying different things about just how strong the winds are going to be here. It is very mixed. Some areas are saying, the UK is only going to get, 40 mile per hour wind gusts, and some are saying, it's going to get 60 to 80. As you can see here, UKV is saying winds of 70 miles per hour. So yeah, pretty intense. You can see where the amber warning is in Ireland, you're getting, again, 60 plus mile per hour winds. And obviously in some places they could be a lot stronger. This model here is showing 70. It's the Icon E's showing 71. But yeah, around 60 to 70 miles per hour. Isle of Man is also going to be catching some pretty intense winds, as you can see here. Now, as we continue into the evening of Tuesday, you can see the storm very quickly, basically just as quickly as it forms, it just completely dies off. Now, if you go to satellite, you can see it is currently affecting the southwest of the UK. Areas like Plymouth are now getting hammered by rain. Exeter's getting hit, Salcombe, Dartmouth, all these areas can be getting hit with some very, very heavy rain. And as you can see, there's even heavier rain down here, aimed straight at the amber warning. If we go to satellite, you can see again there's no signature rotation, which shows just how quickly this storm's going to be forming. Although there's obviously this giant, massive rain now coming towards the UK. If we go to rain accumulation over the next, say, 24 hours, it's a very large area of, again, 40 plus millimeters. And obviously some areas getting much higher than that. If we quickly check webcams, you can see a lot of areas are seeing basically, a lot of clouds. Rain quickly starting to come down. But yeah, pretty much just very wet and windy weather currently, although it is going to ramp up very quickly over the next few hours. So obviously for those of you who are in the path and in the warnings, stay safe, stay at home, don't go out in this kind of weather, don't drive out in, extreme winds. And yeah, just follow the advisories of the warnings. Anyway, with all that said, that's the end of this forecast. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will continue to make forecasts like this over the next year.